ready for action. Prepare for combat.
Welcome to game 2 of the series. Paradox put up a pretty decent fight early game, but eventually OMGPOP's offensive containment strategy proved too difficult for him to deal with, and he was taken down, and I think that was largely because of his Tier 1 choice, as Soviets had no field gun with which to combat the Stug E. Certainly could not make guards work. Just could not find a way to take those Stugs down, and with the aggressive half-track and bunker placement, just really nothing he could do after a certain point. Was forced to concede. Even the T-34-85s stood no chance of saving him after his immense manpower bleed. So now, as we make it into game 2 of the series, the factions have been switched, and OMGPOP will be playing, of course, as U.S. forces, and he has not chosen Rifle Company. On Crossing in the Woods, goes with Rifle Company. On Langerskaya, goes with Rifle Company. Finally, on probably the longest range map we could possibly imagine, he does not go with the flamethrowers. He's switched to Infantry Company here, and he's going to try to take advantage of the long-range abilities that it affords him, such as, of course, LMGs, mortar half-track perhaps, which receives some improvements. So far, I'm not entirely convinced that that mortar half-track has been improved that much. I haven't even seen it get a kill yet, but I haven't seen it in action that much. Hopefully, we're going to see that used this game. I'd be kind of surprised, honestly, if OMGPOP fielded it. That doesn't really seem to be his style. But I guess it could happen. Take a look at the map, just kind of spreading out. Mostly looks like the first engagement's going to be happening over here on the right side.
Area secure. Cover the advances. Target secure. Taking small arms fire. Grenadier, ready for action. Enemy infantry.
And those riflemen are going to get forced to retreat by this Stern Pioneer push by Paradox. Rounds that squad up easily enough, which means this squad will now be forced to engage unsupported. No losses inflicted on those Sterns yet, but they're falling rather low. Volksgrenadiers will obtain vision of that rifle squad, and Paradox will be able to react accordingly. Meanwhile, over here on the left side, rear echelons and riflemen should win an engagement against a lone Volksgrenadier squad. This Volksgrenadier squad making a play for the center VP. This truck not setting up yet.
Grenadiers ready.
And we'll also note that Neria has chosen to go with Oberkommando West rather than Ostfair against OMGPOP. So all 4 factions are going to be represented in this series. Classic matchup in Game 1 and Western Front matchup here in Game 2. So we have teleported Minsk Pocket over to the Western Front for this game. We'll see if that changes things significantly. Wow, that rifle squad doing quite well here. Stern Pioneers trying to get into closer range. Riflemen will switch targets. This is going to be a close engagement. Oh, the riflemen take it. He couldn't stick around too long. I think he positioned himself all wrong there. He needed to have both of those squads in the green cover. Those riflemen never would have been able to win that engagement if he weren't standing in open ground like that. Kind of messed that up. Mechanized Regiment headquarters going up from Neria here, or Paradox, so probably going to be seeing either a Flak half-track or Puma.
Achtung! Ready weapons. Volksgrenadiers back to full strength.
A lot of manpower bleed for Paradox here, but he is getting some good harassment done here on the U.S. Forces fuel. Pop spreading out all over the map here. He's got 2 squads moving to cap here, rear echelons moving to cap there, fuel harassment here, and Lieutenant should be able to push away the Volksgrenadiers here on his own fuel point, and he does halt the capture of that just in time.
Mechanized flak is ready for action.
Paradox will not be able to benefit from that fuel income.
The enemy has cut our supply chain. The resource sector has been
Volksgrenadiers gonna get nailed by that Lieutenant's Thompson. Look at that damage. What is this late retreat? The squad just got wiped. I don't know what he was thinking there. Volksgrenadiers moving up on the left side to take control of this strategic point. Flak half-track is on the field, making its way to the front line. Fire on these. riflemen, Stern Pioneers moving up to engage these riflemen. They're set up in yellow cover. Stern Pioneers already a little wounded. Looks like it could be a close engagement. Riflemen pull ahead a little bit with two quick kills. But it looks like the Stern Pioneers will take that engagement, but they, I don't know, honestly, might even be able to win against those riflemen too. Already heavily wounded, have 1-star vet.
Our supply lines have been cut. Americans are making a push.
Volksgrenadiers taking control of this fuel point here. Stern Pioneers working on the strategic point here, and an M20 is on the field. M20 may struggle a little bit against the flak half-track. Those Stern Pioneers have to retreat immediately on site, though. That would be a big pickup for OMGPOP if he can wipe those Stern Pios. Flak half-track is nowhere in the area to screen, but it looks like they might get away. It looks like they're going to get away. These M20 bursts are not connecting very well. I don't think he got very good rolls there. Stern Pios make it away by a hair. Panzer Fusiliers moving up to engage here on the fuel point, trying to delay its capture. He'll retreat on immediately though, just decides he doesn't like that engagement, bleeding a little too much. And AA half-track is on its way to the front lines. Black half-track wipes the squad of riflemen over there. Nice pickup. That'll equalize the manpower game significantly now that he's lost a Volksgrenadier squad of his own. Taking out those riflemen definitely helps. And that's a big manpower expenditure to get that AA half-track, which is why Pop hasn't even reinforced these riflemen yet. M20 is driving around here in the south. Will disengage away from the flak half-track. Flak half-track needs to be careful with its movements here. Kind of driving around where an M20 has been is dangerous. I don't know if Pop has laid any mines, but he's got the munitions to have done so. Hasn't purchased any upgrades, so that flak half-track really shouldn't be just driving around like crazy without minesweeper support, especially not through dangerous intersections. He's kind of lucky not to have already lost it driving through this intersection or this one. This one. You really never know where there's going to be an M20 line. Stern Pioneers, so there's a flak half-track set up in that lieutenant's retreat path. We might see a second squad wipe. There it is, 2 wipes for Paradox. Great usage of the AA half-track so far, really equalizing the manpower game now. They're both down to 3 combat-capable squads of infantry, and of course, Paradox has the advantage of the Stern Pioneer squad. Whoa, what is that flak half-track doing? Why would he stop moving? He stopped moving next to an American AA half-track and loses his advantage in a blink of an eye. He actually managed to pull into the lead a little bit, and then that happened. I can't believe he just did that. Well, now he's in a lot of trouble. Flak half-track is dead. He's lost his primary defense against his opponent's light vehicles. M20 and American AA half-track still on the field. And against OMGPOP, you don't get 2 mistakes. You really don't. He made 1 mistake with his Volksgrenadiers up there in the north. He looked like he might be able to recover from that 1 mistake, but now he's made 2 mistakes. You don't get 2 mistakes. 2 mistakes is too many mistakes. He had his shot and he blew it! And he is now pretty much completely pinned in his base. All of his harassment over here in the north is not really worth anything when he's cut off at this location. Riflemen moving up to secure this cutoff. Kettenwerfer is going to push away the flak half-track, however. That will be forced back some repairs.
The Americans have cut our supply line.
No fuel in the bank at all for Paradox here. OMGPOP up to 107 fuel, probably going to either get... I don't know, I'm not sure what his strategy is against Oberkommando West. We've seen him go with a second AA half-track at this point just to keep up the huge pressure, huge pressure on your opponent so they can't even own 1 sector of the map. He might be thinking of just going straight to tanks though. I don't think he's made up his mind yet because he's got 120 fuel in the bank and hasn't yet made a decision.
Contact! Scout car! Taking small arms fire!
Extra squad of riflemen fielded and ambulance on the way as well, spending most of his manpower on that. And Major is in production, so he's going to transition now into tanks. Doesn't quite want to go for that second AA half-track, I guess. Repairs complete on this one. He's about to get containment going on this strategic point again soon once he pushes away these Fusiliers with the M20 and riflemen. M20's in a little trouble. Should be able to get away. That mobility boost from hitting Vet 2 right there is probably going to save it. Even with the Rakettenwerfer's aim time buff, couldn't quite catch that light vehicle. Dancing out of his arc of fire there. LMG's upgraded on these riflemen, set up with defensive stance here in the center.
Protect the flank! Enemy rounds! Keep your heads down! Enemy fire! Even if you don't see it, don't look away from the faces. I don't know what it is. It is just so. Incoming fire! Taking effective fire!
Folks Grenadier is going to retreat away from this area. Paradox continues to be completely locked into his base just by the M20 and AA half-track on both of the flanks of the map. Fuel still under control here. Hasn't even made an attempt to get that back yet. He's just totally stuck.
We stand at 300 points.
Folks Grenadiers will immediately retreat upon seeing that. Not much of a chance of overwhelming that without some kind of vehicle, without a grenade maybe, some sort of indirect fire. If he builds the infantry support gun, he's basically admitting that he has no way of getting out of his current situation without lucky indirect fire, and the infantry support gun's so expensive it's probably not going to save him. He needs to make some sort of miraculous play with infantry and Rakettenwerfers. So far not going too well. And that gets decrewed. Stern Pioneers taking a lot of manpower bleed. These infantry are about to get suppressed or wiped by the light vehicles which continue to harass him. OMGPOP has absolute and total map control. There it is. No hope of victory. GG. OMGPOP is the king, and he has now defeated 8 challengers, propelling him into the lead in this tournament.